I'm Alan Weiss, and this is The Writing on the Wall. Welcome to Writing on the Wall, episode 153. I call this book burning. Do you remember Fahrenheit 451? 451 degrees is apparently the degree at which books will burn. And Fahrenheit 451 was the great, I think, Ray Bradbury science fiction story about book burning in the future. There's a series on TV today, The Handmaid's Tale, from the very popular book, a dystopian future about what happens to women. You have to wonder, are we book burning today? Are we trying to go back in history and destroy what's happened? A few years ago, ISIS, when it was at its height, and right now they have no territory, but when it was at its height, they blew up these Buddha statues, these wonderfully huge, 30-foot statues of Buddha carved out of rock. They blew them up. They were destroying art. Should we go back and destroy art because we don't agree with the artist anymore? How are we different from ISIS if we go back and destroy things, monuments, statues, school buildings, whatever it is, because of presentism? Do we ban certain composers? Wagner was a notorious, virulent anti-Semite, but they listen to him in Israel today. Do we ban his work because of his rather horrid views about religion, about the Jews? What about the fact that we're taking down statues of Confederate generals, but not the White House? The White House was built with some slave labor. Why don't we think about that? There was a tank, Army tanks are named after generals. And there was a tank between World War I and World War II called the Grant tank and the Lee tank. Two different tanks, but they looked alike. Slight modifications. And one was named after Lee. Some are still on exhibit. Should we take them off exhibit because they're named after Lee? Should we blow them up? Change their names ex post facto? Do we burn Confederate papers and memoirs and autobiographies? Because we don't want to learn anything about that and we don't want to retain anything about that. Should we burn, as in Fahrenheit 451, anything that was written? Jefferson had slaves. Should we blast him off Rushmore? People want to ban Gone with the Wind. To me, that's the height of ignorance. Shaming people for something they did 35 years ago. I'm not talking about crimes or sexual attacks. I'm talking about things they did in their youth which were silly and dumb and stupid, which we all do in high school and college. Assumes that we don't grow, we don't learn, we don't improve, we never get better, we don't mature. That's what happens when we look through ancient yearbooks to try to find something we can shame someone for 35 years ago. We have somebody running for the presidential Democratic nomination right now, a woman who just 2 years ago was an attorney general and has changed her mind 180 degrees in order to get the nomination and said she was wrong about the death penalty, she was wrong about incarceration, she was wrong about this, and she's changed her mind. Well, she's changed her mind from 2 years ago, and she expects us to believe that. Why shame someone from 35 years ago? We have to use the past to improve the future, not use the present to erase the past, or we'll have no future.